River deltas are among the most biologically diverse ecosystems on Earth, brimming with life and sustaining countless species. Formed where rivers meet the sea, these dynamic landscapes are shaped by the interplay of fresh and salt water, creating nutrient-rich habitats that teem with biodiversity. From dense mangroves to sprawling wetlands, deltas are vital not only to the species that inhabit them, but also to the people who rely on their resources. At the heart of a river, delta's richness is its constant supply of nutrients. As rivers flow toward the sea, they carry sediments laden with organic material, which are deposited in the delta. This fertile soil supports a variety of plant life, from grasses to towering trees, which in turn provide food and shelter for countless animals. The unique mixing of fresh and salt water creates brackish zones, home to species adapted to these fluctuating conditions. Mangroves, in particular, thrive here, offering refuge for fish, birds, and crustaceans while protecting the coastline from erosion. Let's journey through 7 of the world's richest river deltas to uncover their ecological treasures and understand why they are such crucial wildlife havens. One of the most iconic examples is the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta in South Asia, the largest delta in the world. Formed by the convergence of 2 mighty rivers, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra, it stretches across an astounding 100,000 square kilometers. Its vast network of rivers, swamps, and mangroves, including the renowned Sundarbans, hosts an extraordinary array of species. Among the most iconic inhabitants is the Bengal tiger, uniquely adapted to the mangrove environment, swimming across channels and navigating muddy terrain in search of prey like deer and boars. The delta's waterways are home to aquatic wonders such as the Irrawaddy dolphin and the critically endangered Ganges river dolphin, both thriving in these brackish waters. Above, the skies are alive with migratory birds like the lesser whistling duck and the white-bellied sea eagle, making the delta a critical stopover for species traveling vast distances along global flyways. Its fertile floodplains are among the most productive agricultural regions in the world, sustaining rice paddies and vibrant fishing industries. The nutrient-rich sediments deposited by the rivers continually replenish the soil, supporting both wildlife and millions of people who rely on its resources. Traveling west to Africa, the Niger Delta offers another stunning example of a wildlife-rich delta. This maze of rivers, creeks, and mangroves is the largest in Africa, sprawling across over 70,000 square kilometers of Nigeria's coastline, supporting unique wildlife adapted to its brackish waters and lush vegetation. The gentle West African manatee, often called the sea cow, glides through its waterways, while the Nile crocodile lurks stealthily in its shadowy depths. Above, birds such as the African fish eagle and colorful kingfishers bring the delta's skies to life, hunting for fish in its nutrient-rich waters. The mangroves here are nurseries for fish and shellfish, making the delta indispensable for both wildlife and local communities. Heading east to Southeast Asia, the Mekong Delta in Vietnam is a vibrant tapestry of waterways and rice paddies, often referred to as Vietnam's Rice Bowl, which spans over 40,500 square kilometers. The brackish waters are home to rare aquatic species such as the giant Mekong catfish, which can grow to immense sizes, and the charismatic Irrawaddy dolphin, which thrives in its tranquil rivers. Towering above the wetlands, the Saru's crane, the world's tallest flying bird, moves with grace, symbolizing the delta's ecological abundance. The delta is also a magnet for countless migratory birds, including the elegant black-headed ibis, the striking painted stork, and the dainty common teal, all of which find refuge in its wetlands during their seasonal journeys. These rich habitats create a vibrant tapestry of life, with the sights and sounds of migratory birds adding dynamic beauty to the landscape. Next, a starkly different delta lies in Botswana, where the Okavango Delta is unlike any other. Instead of meeting the sea, the Okavango River spills into the Kalahari Desert, creating an inland oasis. This seasonal flooding creates a rich and dynamic ecosystem, home to some of the most iconic wildlife on the planet. Elephants wade through its waters in search of fresh vegetation, while hippos bask in its lagoons, creating ripples that reflect the golden African sun. Apex predators such as lions, leopards, and the elusive African wild dog roam the floodplains, hunting among herds of impalas, buffalo, and zebras that come to graze on the delta's lush grasses. The skies above the Okavango Delta are equally captivating, as it serves as a critical refuge for countless bird species. Among its avian wonders are the African fish eagle, whose haunting calls echo across the waters, and the elegant crowned crane, with its striking plumage and regal bearing. Migratory birds like the pallid harrier and European roller find sanctuary in the delta during their long journeys, while local species such as the vivid malachite kingfisher dart across its waterways in flashes of blue and orange. The endangered slaty egret, found only in this region, wades gracefully through the shallow waters, and the rare Pell's fishing owl roosts in the dense riverine forests, adding an air of mystery to the delta's nocturnal landscape. Continuing to South America, the Amazon River Delta, a sprawling expanse of over 100,000 square kilometers, is where the world's largest rainforest meets the Atlantic Ocean. This vast region is a labyrinth of rivers, mangroves, and floodplains. The delta is home to aquatic marvels such as the pink Amazon River dolphin, which glides gracefully through its waters, and the arapaima, one of the largest freshwater fish, known for its armored scales and impressive size. The mangroves lining the delta serve as nurseries for countless species, from tiny crustaceans to juvenile fish, while also acting as vital buffers against coastal erosion and storm surges. Above this aquatic wonderland, the skies are alive with the vibrant presence of both resident and migratory birds. Scarlet macaws, with their striking red, yellow, and blue feathers, fly in dazzling flocks, their calls resonating through the dense canopy. Migratory species such as the semi-palmated sandpiper make their way to the delta during their epic journeys, using its mudflats and wetlands as critical feeding and resting grounds. Other avian visitors include the peregrine falcon, which winters here, and the elegant black skimmer, known for its unique feeding style as it glides along the water's surface. Local birds, like the quirky hotsin, often called the stink bird for its unique digestive system, perch in the mangroves, adding to the delta's avian diversity. Far to the north, the Lena River Delta, located in the Arctic reaches of Siberia, is a remarkable expanse of wetlands and tundra that sprawls across more than 30,000 square kilometers. This unique delta, where the Lena River meets the Arctic Ocean, is one of the most pristine and northernmost deltas in the world. Despite its cold, harsh environment, it becomes a vibrant hub of life during the summer thaw, when the frozen landscape transforms into a lush mosaic of marshes, channels, and lakes. The delta is a haven for Arctic wildlife, including species like the Arctic fox, which prowls the tundra for prey, and the hardy reindeer, which graze on the mosses and lichens that flourish during the brief growing season. The Lena Delta is also a critical stopover and breeding ground for countless migratory birds, which travel thousands of kilometers to take advantage of its rich resources during the Arctic summer. Among these are the elegant Siberian crane, one of the most endangered cranes in the world, which nests in the delta's wetlands. Flocks of snow geese fill the skies with their calls, while shorebirds like the red-necked phalarope and the dunlin feed on the abundant insects and aquatic invertebrates that emerge as the ice melts. The delta's ponds and lakes provide perfect breeding sites for waterfowl such as long-tailed ducks and pinetails, whose young thrive in this nutrient-rich environment. These wetlands are a lifeline for migratory species on the East Asian, Australasian, and Central Asian flyways. Finally, far to the south, the Mississippi River Delta, sprawling across 25,000 square kilometers of Louisiana's coastline, is a dynamic landscape of marshes, swamps, and waterways that teem with life. This delta is a sanctuary for an extraordinary array of wildlife, with its wetlands serving as a haven for species like the formidable American alligator, which prowls the marshes, and the diamondback terrapin, a unique turtle adapted to brackish environments. The delta's waters are alive with fish, shrimp, and crabs, providing a critical food source for both wildlife and local communities. However, it's not just the waters that are bustling with life. The skies above are a spectacle in their own right. Each year, thousands of migratory birds make their way to the Mississippi River Delta, using it as a critical stopover on the Mississippi Flyway. one of North America's major bird migration routes. Species such as the striking roseate spoonbill, with its vivid pink plumage, and the iconic snow goose flock to the delta in large numbers, feeding and resting in its wetlands. Ducks, like the mallard and the northern pinetail, find refuge here, while songbirds, such as the prothonotary warbler, add flashes of color and music to the region. Wading birds like the great egret and tricolored heron stalk the shallow waters, hunting fish and amphibians. This dynamic interplay of land, water, and air makes the delta a vital haven not only for wildlife, but also for people, as it provides natural storm barriers and supports industries like fishing and ecotourism. If you're captivated by the incredible biodiversity and importance of river deltas, like and subscribe for more stories about nature's most fascinating ecosystems. Until next time, remember, these remarkable landscapes aren't just homes for wildlife, they're lifelines for the planet and for us all.